Hello and welcome to this publication for Capella to Jama Connect integration demo. So the first thing we need to do is, as a server administrator, to declare on the publication for Capella server that this server can talk to a given Jama Connect friend server. So we will add a new friend server that we will call Jama Connect, like that. And we will indicate that this is a Jama Connect friend, and we just need to enter the URL of this Jama Connect server REST URL that we are going to use. And that's it. The friend is created. That's all that needs to be done from a server administration point of view. So now I will log out and log in as a user, a normal user, not a server administrator. I will log in as John Doe using OpenID Connect. Okay, and here I am logged in as John Doe, and I'm showing you now what we call a project in publication for Capella, which is basically some kind of folder where we can publish Capella models and manage traceability with third-party repositories as the one hosted within Jama Connect. The second configuration step that needs to be done must be done by the manager of such projects, and I as John Doe, I'm going to indicate that from this project I want to be able to manage traceability with Jama items hosted in specific Jama projects. So here I can select the projects I need, and I will in this demo only work with a sample project called Dobson Telescope that I will show you in a second. So here it is. I have associated my Dobson Telescope publication project with the Dobson Telescope project of Jama Connect. Let's have a look at this project. Here it is. It is a simple project with a few requirements. In the use case of this video, we are a company building telescopes, and we have the project of building a low-cost telescope aiming at the amateur astronomers, and here are the requirements that we need to cover. Of course, in real life there would be many more, but that's just an example to perform the demonstration. Now that we've taken care of all the necessary configurations of online, let's have a look at Capella. Here we can see the model John Doe is working on to cover the requirements about this telescope. So it describes the design of a Dobsonian telescope, which is a simple kind of telescope that makes it possible to build for a low cost, satisfying telescopes. So I will not dive into the details, but before we go examine the traceability support, I want to just show the basic features of publication for Capella. So the first feature of publication is that it makes it possible to expose Capella models online so that their information can be consumed and browsed by any stakeholder who can access the web browser without having to install Capella at all. So here is how it goes. Just click on Publish to Server. Then I need to just explain why I am publishing. So here I'm just pushing an initial design of the telescope. And I can just click on Finish, and the data gets published online, where I can now go and browse it, and anyone with access to the publication server can go and browse it. Let's see how it looks. Here we are back online on the project. You can see that now the Dobsonian telescope model has been published, and we can find all its information online. So for example, the diagram we were looking at in Capella is available here. We can make it full screen if needed, and everything within it can be navigated by just clicking on it, and it then opens the page dedicated to the component or function or whatever we have selected. We find all the useful usual information about Capella elements, such as the properties, the semantic browser, and things like that. Please note that the rich text documentation of models and model elements is also available online, which can be very useful to have information that is easily consumable by stakeholders. Okay, so that is the first feature of publication, and now let's go back within Capella to see how we deal with traceability. Let's imagine that we want to trace this primary mirror diagram. This primary mirror diameter must be at this 10 inches requirement to our primary mirror component. It's as simple as dragging and dropping the URL of the Jama Connect item into Capella itself. If I want to say that it must be possible to adjust the main mirror alignment by using screws and trace it to the primary mirror cell, which is supporting that, it's also as simple as that, and you can also drag and drop it to several elements. Here we have a new link between the function because I dragged and dropped on the function, and a link with the component because I dragged and dropped on the component. So that's the basic way we interact with requirements in Jama Connect from Capella, by simply dragging and dropping the elements in diagrams. Jama Connect elements have a minimal amount of information duplicated within the Capella model. If you want to see more, it's as simple as doing show online on these elements, and it opens the web page of the related element in the web browser, where you can have all the information you need. We don't want to copy everything, each repository being the owner of their own data. And now I have created trace links within Capella. I want to make these links available online now. So the next step is to publish my model to the server. It's just next, add a few links in the commit message, and finish. If I go back to my diagram here, which I can do like that here manually, or if I'm a Capella user, I just have to right click and show online, and it will open the same page directly on the right web address. Okay, so we have this diagram. You can see that it has been updated. It contains the links to the artifacts of Jama Connect. Once again, if you click on these, you will be redirected to the Jama Connect web page of the associated element. And what's new now is that since we have published the traceability information online, it's also available on the Jama Connect web page by means of a backlink that's available here. So if you click on this link, it will take you to the web page of the primary mirror component, which is traced to this 9739 requirement. Okay, so the traceability is available both on publication, where you can see it here, and in Jama Connect as a link, plain link. Okay, last thing I want to show about this integration is that it's also possible to trace diagrams and attach diagrams to requirements or on other types of Jama Connect items. So let's imagine that this requirement, it must be possible to adjust the main mirror alignment, is actually traced to these, but actually I want to refine the design of my primary mirror cell by means of another diagram, so I will do so, and let's go and see the other diagram I have prepared. So this is a new design for my primary mirror cell, and here I want to say that this function adjust the flotation cell attitude is the one that actually supports this requirement of adjusting the main mirror alignment by using screws. So I just drag and drop once again, and here it is. The requirement appears in my diagram, and it is traced to my function, which is new. And since it was already traced to the primary mirror cell, the link that was already there appears in the diagram, as is customary in Capella. So I want to just arrange a bit my diagram. And here, since I added this link to the more specific function, I can also delete the former link to the broader function adjust primary attitude. So now I have a new state of my Capella model where this requirement is traced to this function. I think it would be interesting to illustrate this requirement with this diagram to explain how it is supported. So what I will do is simply indicate that I want to trace the diagram itself to this requirement, which is easily done by drag and dropping the requirement on the background of the diagram. And it adds this compartment which says that this diagram is linked to this requirement by a link called satisfies. Okay, that will cause the diagram to be attached to the requirement when I publish. So let's see that in action. Okay. So now if I go back to this 9732, it must be possible. You can see that it has received the attachment, not only the link to 9732, but to the diagram, I mean, but also this image of the diagram that's available here and that then can be added within the requirement body itself, for example, like that. If I edit the requirement, I can simply add the attachment. This is the new one. I just save that and I have integrated easily in my requirement description the image that comes from Capella itself. This image will be updated as we publish the Capella model and if the diagram evolves. One last thing that we can show is that these links, these traceability links that we have been publishing, they can be managed also online. And for example, if I want to remove the link between 9732 and the primary mirror cell because it doesn't appeal to me or whatever the reason, I just need to go online and hit delete. And that will also delete the link on Jama Connect side. And in Capella, I can receive this by simply doing right-click, update from server, and then I get the information that the link between primary mirror cell and 9732 has been deleted. So I can just click on finish. And just for the sake of completeness, if I go back to this 9732 online, I will check that the link has been deleted. And it's the case, there were 3 links before, now there are only 2 links. So that's what we expected. So you can see with this demo how all the links are kept synchronized between the repositories involved and how easy it is to manage traceability from within Capella by simply drag and dropping elements from Jama.